Hello and welcome to another episode of Boat in the Bonnet. My name is Frans and I'm building an Iain Oughtred Guillemot traditional dinghy. In the previous episode the apron was laminated. The excess epoxy still had to be removed. To clean up the sides, the final width of the apron first had to be measured from the stem pattern's drawing. Then two lines were drawn on the inside of the apron, between which a larger space was kept free than the future apron width. The sewing pattern was removed and the port side was made square and flat. Then the apron was milled to give it the desired width. The inside and width then were correct, leaving the front to be shaped. Based on the stem pattern drawing, I made a plywood pattern which was attached to the apron with double-sided tape and served as a guide during milling. The apron now had the correct dimensions and could be used as a molding frame to laminate the stem. The lamination frame was laid on the workbench. The apron was wrapped in plastic so it would not be glued, and a number of clamps was taken from the wall. Oak strips were steamed for 15 minutes and then clamped against the apron. A day later, the clamps were removed and the oak strips provided with a layer of unthickened epoxy. The two outer strips were only rolled in on the inside, the other strips on both sides. Previously, I had applied the thickened epoxy to the strips for the apron with a roller. At the stem, I used a glue comb. The epoxy was therefore applied thicker and more evenly, but it also created a bigger mesh. Having applied the epoxy, the strips could be clamped against the apron again. On the left you can see that I should have put a piece of plastic on my workbench. Epoxy on wood simply does what it is intended for and is hard to remove. After a day, the epoxy had cured and the laminate could be detached from the frame. Just like with the apron, the excess epoxy then had to be removed. 2 pencil lines were drawn to indicate where to cut, to remove the sides with the epoxy on top. Using my baby thicknesser, the stem was milled to the desired width. The apron had done its duty, help shaping the stem, so some wood could be removed from the front edges under an angle of 45 degrees. It was then ready to be attached to the building frame that was yet to be made. The stem was put aside for the time being. In the next episode the molds will be made. Hope you liked this episode. Thank you for watching. See you next time.